percussion on a whole nother level, coming from my mind.
Trafalgar D Water Law, more commonly known as just Trafalgar Law,
トラファルガー D ワーテルロー D は隠しなワーテルは意味なで
and by his epithet as the Surgeon of Death.
ドレークやお前何人殺した？
死の外科医トラファルガード懸賞金2億ベリー
is a pirate from North Blue and the captain and doctor of the Hot Pirates.
麦わら屋をこっちへ乗せろ。そいつをここから逃がす。一旦俺に預けろ。何？俺は医者だ。
He is one of 12 pirates who are referred to as the worst generation.
2年前シャボンディ諸島に一堂に会した11人の奥越えルーキーたちに黒ひげを加え、世間じゃおめえらを最悪の世代と呼ぶんだ。一時代の終わりと始まりの狭間に生まれた。
He became one of the Seven Warlords of the sea during the timeskip.
世界政府公認の海賊桜花七部会
トラファルガーロー。
Room, the precursor to all of Law's techniques, Law creates a spherical space around his targets in which he can manipulate anything he wants in a variety of ways. This was first seen used against a marine soldier during the escape from the human auctioning house.
なんだこのサークル。シャンブルズ。俺がやられた。
気をつけろ。こいつら3人とも能力者だ。
Amputate, meaning severance, Law's basic offensive technique. Law cleanly cuts his target without actually harming them. Law's sword doesn't actually have to make contact with the enemy to cut the target apart. While Law has never called this technique before using it, he named it while explaining Radio Knife.
反撃開始。なんでだ？ラジオナイフは普段のアンピテートとは切り口が違う。
Amputate also seems to be necessary when performing operations in order to extract narcotics from patients, as he did so on the drug-addicted children on Punk Hazard.
お前、一体子供たちに何をした？あいつらにもしものことがあったらお前。
だから覗くなと言ったろ。今ガキどもの体を切り刻んできた。ドラッグだ。
Radio Knife. Law charges his sword with electricity in a similar manner to his counter-shock move and then quickly slashes his enemy, which results in the target being separated into several segments while also suffering an electric shock. It was used for the first time against Sterben inside his room after using Shambles to swap his position with Doflamingo. Shambles. Within the space created with Room, Law can switch the places of any object inside the space.
時間の無駄だ。また迷子になっちゃかなわねえ。てめえ言わせておけば。シャンブルズ。
Jinkaku Ishoku Shujutsu, meaning personality transplant surgery. During his confrontation against the Straw Hat Pirates, Law showed that he can use Shambles to swap non-physical items such as souls, effectively putting one person in another one's body.
Shambles.
In the case of Tashigi, switching hearts made her lose consciousness. He later used this attack to bring Frankie and Tony Chopper back to their original bodies. This technique was named by Doflamingo.
俺は世界の実験さえも握れていた。 お前の能力はそれほど利用価値のあるものなんだ。人格の移植手術もしかり、もう一つ、お前は知っているのか？
Takt, Law uses his ability to levitate an object within his room in a telekinetic manner. To use this technique, Law performs a lifting motion with his index finger by pointing upwards. This technique is first seen being used against the G5 Marines and is powerful enough to lift a battleship and some of the surrounding water into the air.
Takt!
そんな
宙に浮いた川底も一緒になんだこれは
Scan. Law scans people inside his room by imbuing his sword with the fruit's energy and beaming it through the crowd. This allows him to see the location of any items on the scanned people, selectively swiping away any items that they may have on their person. It was first used to steal all the Denden Mushis from a group of G5 Marines.
心配無用。スキャン。
なんだこれやめろ
電電虫。俺、ねえぞ。まさか、俺のも。
Mess. Law strikes his opponent in the chest with his bare hand, causing their heart to expel out of their body, encased in a glass-like cube. It was presumably ties the victim in some way, since Smoker panted heavily after Law succeeded at depriving him of his heart. Although it does not kill the victim, it was first seen being used on Smoker.
メス。
心臓。
Since all body parts severed with Law's ability still act as if they were still intact, squeezing or beating the heart cube inflicts great pain and internal damage to the victim, making this technique suitable for subduing and controlling people.
身をもって分かったはずだが、お前の心臓はベルゴが持ってる。
Puncturing the heart will cause instant death. Counter shock. Law places both of his thumbs onto his opponent's chest and releases a strong electrical surge like a defibrillator. This technique was strong enough to defeat Scotch.
Counter shock.
He can also use just his thumbs for this technique as shown in his battle with Virgo.
Counter shock.
Injection shot. While aiming at his target, Law rushes towards them with his sword stretched out in order to stab them. Once the sword connects, Law makes it fire like a gun. It was first used against Treble, but was interrupted by Doflamingo before it made contact.
Injection.
くらえ鼻水真剣白羽鳥
Shot. とどめだ。
Its first successful use was against Doflamingo himself.
おいおいドフィー気をつけろローの能力圏内だ
Injection. Shot.
Gamma Knife. This is Law's strongest technique. Law creates a short blade of energy before stabbing his opponent with it. This technique destroys his victim's internal organs without leaving any external wounds. According to Law, not even someone of Doflamingo's caliber can survive this. This was first used to fatally wound Doflamingo. Sterben, meaning Blade of Death, a technique used when Law had his right arm severed by Doflamingo. After using Takt on his severed arm, Law makes it spin. Before the arm is still holding Law's sword, it effectively ends up acting like a buzzsaw that cuts the opponent in a vertical motion. It was first used to defeat Treble.